are assembled here on this Bill of Rights Day to do honor to the great documents which together constitute the charter of our form of government. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are now assembled in one place for display and safekeeping. Here, so far as is humanly possible, they will be protected from disaster and from the ravages of time. You can read about the Constitution and you can study it in books, but the Constitution is not merely a matter of words. The Constitution is a living force. It is a growing thing.
The U.S. Constitution was written in 1787 and ratified by the 13 colonies in 1789.
Originalism, as a means of interpreting the Constitution, simply means that you try to understand what the words meant at the time to the people who were using them and to people who read them. Obviously, what the ratifiers of the Constitution, who made it law, understood themselves to be doing would depend upon what the words reasonably read would mean. And that's what originalism is. The case for originalism is quite easy to make. If a judge is not guided by what the people who wrote the Constitution understood themselves to be doing, where does he look for his law? The judge who looks outside the Constitution looks inside himself and no place else. Now, since the war in court, and somewhat before that, and with increasing frequency in the modern court, judges are making up the Constitution. That is, they are putting new principles in that were never there before.
And that's where judges substitute their own ideas, their policy preferences, their own biases or personal inclinations for what the Constitution actually says.
That's what we Republicans believe. We believe our judges must strictly interpret the Constitution. Voters will know I'll put competent judges on the bench, people who will strictly interpret the Constitution and will not use the bench to write social policy. They shouldn't misuse their bench. I don't believe in liberal activist judges. I believe in strict constructionists.
I will continue to appoint federal judges who know the difference between personal opinion and the strict interpretation of the law.
President George W. Bush has stated repeatedly that his favorite Supreme Court justices are Antonin Scalia and Clarence Thomas.
If the question to me is to what extent do I think judges must be governed by the original meaning of the Constitution, I think my answer is considerably. There is indeed no reason to have a Constitution except to establish a fundamental framework that cannot be departed from.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs that connect you to the world.